What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why stop losses are dangerous when it comes to the stock market and why there's a much better way to make sure that you and your family make the kind of money that you deserve. First of all, for starters, show of hands, myself included, how many times have you bought a stock at a quarter only to see it an hour later at 15 cents, right? Happens all the time. 20 or 30% moves up and down, especially when we're talking about stocks under a buck, are normal. So if you have what I call a Vegas mentality to making money in the stock market, right? You want to roll up to the roulette table at midnight on a Friday and put it all on black or red. Well, that'll work a time or two, right? 10 grand turns into 20, 20 turns into 40. All of a sudden, your smart buddy, the one who's semi-sober, says, come on, this could pay for 4 or 5 trips to Vegas. Let's go. The ladies are waiting. No, one more spin, I promise, and then we'll go. You take that third spin of the wheel. You buy that early morning gap and go. You think your 10% stop loss is going to save you, and then wah, wah, wah. The house says, thank you very much. We'll take that money. And by the way, fellas, the buffet is right over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got over 30 years of experience. Half of that as a broker from 93 to 07. I've made all the mistakes, including going bankrupt in 2008. So you don't have to. I've got at least 10,000 trades under my belt. I can tell you with absolute certainty, especially if you're an average Joe or a Julie like myself, you cannot sell a stock with a stop, take a loss, and then buy it back within 30 days. That's called the wash rule. So if you're going to get shaken out at least half the time, especially when you're buying a penny stock, how the hell are you going to make any real fucking money? 80% of the volume these days, and probably close to 90 in the next 2 or 3 years, is a bot. It's an algo. And they're hunting for stop losses. For example, if you're trying to buy a stock, let's say at 52 cents, I guarantee the bots are going to push it to flush those stops at 50 cents. So you need to establish the position, or at a minimum, be prepared to buy between 45 and 50. So the obvious question of this day is, all right, Jason, if it's dangerous, I'm going to get stopped out at least half the time. I'm going to keep spinning my fucking wheels like I have for the last decade or more. What's a better way? It's what we do. And it's in the pinned comment below. The #1 stock trading Discord with a 95.4% win rate for almost 3 years. You could have made 20 times on your money following my advice and doing the following. Buy a third of a position up front. And then the remaining 2/3 of that position, you do what we call add small. So we say, don't put more than 15% of your trading capital into any one idea. And we have the lucky 7. We call them the core holdings. So if you divide 100 by 7, you get exactly 14.23%. So 5%, a third of it goes in initially at, let's say, a quarter. The remaining 10 grand, or 2/3 of that, you add small in a raging bull market in 1% increments. So that means, yes, you will buy that stock at least 11 times. In a shaky market that's got a rounding top like we do right now, you cut that add small size down to at least a half of 1%. So you'll buy a third up front, and then that remaining 10% of the position means you'll buy the stock upwards of 20 fucking times, just like the best hedge funds in the world, just like Warren Buffett. Look at the SEC filings. He bought Apple years ago dozens of times, and when he sold it, starting not too long ago, he sold it dozens of times. If you're playing poker, as one example, you go all in on the ante. No, all right, boys, let's play some Texas Hold'em. I'm all in. That's a guaranteed offsuit pocket deuce and an 8. Wah, wah, wah. No, you ante up. You buy a quarter to a third of a position. 2/3, if not more, of that hand comes after you see the first 2 cards that are dealt down. It's no different when it comes to trading. And as the old saying goes, if you want something that you've never had, you got to be willing to do something you've never done. If you're making money hand over fucking fist, you don't need my help. You can keep it moving. But if you're like 99% of you, you're tired of spinning your wheels, you want to join forces with a guy that's 20x'd his money in 2.5 years. In the last 8 months, 97-2. How many times do I have to say that? 97 wins, only 2 losses since last August. I will make you rich, and it's only going to cost you $5 a day. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, get your first 30 days half off. Cancel any time in the pinned comment below. And oh, by the way, I love you.